are few instructions for this webinar. First, you have to use your real name here, and if you haven't changed it yet, please change it immediately. And second one, when the agenda takes places, if you haven't, if unfortunately we will mute all of you when our speaker is speaking, but don't worry, we will unmute when we reach to the Q&A session. The third one, we will have a photo session after our keynote speaker is speaking. And last but not least, we will give you a feedback link for you to fill to gain the Earth certificate. Okay, so for all of you who wants to join another program of Tel-U Virtual Career, we will also have another agendas for tomorrow. The first one is Kenali Tipe Pewawancara Kerja by Miss Banuati Talim on 10 a.m. The second one is How to Deal with a Job Interview by Miss Indah Purpitasari on 1 p.m. And next slide, please. Yes. At the same time, we will also have industrial sharing with Axiata Digital Labs, IoT 101, and its potential application during pandemic situation by Muhammad Ichan. So guys, don't forget to join this beneficial webinar. Also, don't forget to share it to your friends. All right, so shall we begin today? So welcome to today's webinar provided by Unit Career and Alumni Endowment. Your first job with Axiata Digital Labs, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Okay, so guys, as we're already aware, the coronavirus pandemic has led to need for social distancing to help prevent spread. For this reason, it remains unwise for us to gather in physical spaces, but thankfully, we have the virtual space that can sustain us. Now, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you, to Manager of Career and Alumni Endowment, Mrs. Andriata. Hello, Ms. Andriata.
Hello, TV.
Also to our honorable speaker for today, Mr. Chandima Bujekun from Axiata Digital Labs.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning, Mr.
Good morning, Mbak. Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi. Also to Miss Cindy Dayana. Hello, Miss.
Selamat pagi, Mbak Tiwi. Selamat pagi semua. Semoga sehat selalu.
Iya, pagi Mbak Cindy.
So guys, excellencies, participants, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to listen but the opening speech delivered by Manager of Career and Alumni Endowment, Miss Andriata.
Thank you, TV. Selamat pagi semua. Good morning, Mr. Chandima.
Good morning, Mbak.
It's our pleasure to having you in our seminar, and thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you.
And this is our opportunity to know about Axiata Digital Labs, and also the participant maybe can ask forward to Mr. Chandima about ADL in Indonesia. Maybe that's all, and dan buat teman-teman yang sudah hadir, selamat menyimak pemaparan dari Mr. Chandima yang memang sekaligus dari ADL Industry Country Head dari Axiata Digital Labs. Jadi teman-teman di sini bisa langsung tanya. It's okay, Mr. Chandima, if the participant ask you by in bahasa Indonesia?
It's okay, Bu, because my bahasa knowledge sedikit, but Bu Cindy will support me to do any translation. It's totally fine.
Okay. This we have a TV to may support to translate the question. Okay. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you, Mr. Chandima and Miss Cindy, for having you. It's my pleasure. It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bu. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Ms. Andriata, for the opening speech. Mr. Chandi Maviakun is the ADL Indonesia country head of Axiata Digital Labs. Now, without any further ado, let's welcome to our keynote speaker for today, Mr. Chandi Maviakun. Please, the time is yours, Mr.
Thank you very much, Bu. Thanks a lot. Okay. So first thing first, good morning, everyone, and selamat pagi. So hope everyone doing well and stay safe and stay healthy. I think it's something like an honor and privilege to participate this session. And first of all, I would like to convey my gratitude and my regards to Telecom University management staff. At the same time, I really appreciated your active participation for this session. And I'll try my best to make something like a very fruitful discussion. And whenever the question you want to ask from me, please raise anytime. So you can disturb me anytime. I'll try my best to address any question, any queries, any concerns related to your areas. So as you know, I'm not going to, introduce about myself again because that telecom management staff, they already gave me something like a very good introduction. So even though I just want to give something like a very small introduction about myself. So I'm just a member of ADL Indonesia family. So we said ADL Indonesia is not a company, it's our family. So because I'm also member of that family, more or less, I'm also having some responsibilities, even though we are same family members, we are same, people, and no differentiation between any member. So we have all privileges as equal way, and we have all the same rights for the everyone as a together. So apart from that, initially I would give something like a heads up, some information related to what is ADL. So if you want to get more detail about ADL, you can visit our website. It's asiatadigital.labs.com. So then you can take something like a more information about our company. But even though I thought better to give something like a basic introduction about the company profile and what kind of things we are doing and what sort of projects we are doing and what sort of culture we have. So I'm not going to waste your time, but I will go through something like a very, short briefing about ADL. Then after that, we discuss our topic related to your first job with ADL. So please accept me to share my screen. So give me a few seconds. I will share my screen and let's go ahead with the presentation. So I assume everyone can see my screen.
Of course. See.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So about ADL. So ADL is something like a true digital transformation company, and we are disrupting telco business through innovative way because there are a lot of software houses and software companies and IT consultancy companies. But what is the difference between ADL and other companies? Because ADL is something like a true innovative company because we never fear to fail. So my slogan to my team members, don't fear to fail. Because whenever you fear to fail, you never explore new things. You never found any, new ideas or new innovation. So first thing first, you have to, get rid of your fear and accept any challenges, any changes. So ADL is something like a true innovative company, and we are the giant for the digital transformation for the telco industry because our starting point, our initiation coming from the telco background. But even though we are doing something like a vast variety of solution related to different business angles, something like a fintech business, telco business, healthcare business, agriculture. So we have something like a lot of variety kind of business avenues. So therefore, we are not only for the telco, we are doing something like a more, business domains related to different areas. So this is about ADL, and this is something like a very brief information related to about us. So the other thing is currently we have stabilized in 7 countries, and our platforms are running with different locations in South Asia, Southeast Asia, and some East Asia areas. So apart from that, our projects, our application used by 350 million users. And we have exposed 3,000 APIs for the public internet. At the same time, we have exposed 1,000 microservices for different kind of activities and different kind of business domain. And 15,000 plus days we are investing per year for R&D and new technology, development and new product innovation. And 120 plus projects we have delivered right now, and 100 plus live system we are managed by through ADL global team members. That means global team means we have locations in Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and Indonesia. So these are the three main development centers in around the world, and we are going to, expand our ADL footprint for different areas, something like Bangladesh, then Vietnam, Cambodia, likewise. But apart from that, currently we have something like a main development centers located in Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and Malaysia. So this is something like a geo map related to our location, and we have a partnership with Huawei also. Huawei R&D and ADL R&D team joined together, and we work with something like a digital telco enabled solutions, some related to the BSS transformation. And apart from that, we are something like Axiata company, and we are under Axiata umbrella. So Excel Axiata is our closest sister company in Indonesia. We are closely working with Excel Axiata in Indonesia. Apart from that, Indonesia having something like a few sister companies related under Axiata Group. One is Axiata Digital Services Indonesia. The second one, Axiata Digital Advertising Indonesia. The final one, Axiata Digital Capital Indonesia. Those are the other three companies under Axiata umbrella. So even though we are the one and only company who provides software solution to Axiata Group. So therefore, I cannot say Axiata Digital Labs is a startup company. It's coming from something like a solid background and stable financial background. So therefore, we are not something like a startup company, but I truly believe we are a startup company for Indonesia, because I like that startup culture, and we don't have any big hierarchies. We have a very flat hierarchy and friendly staff, and we believe teamwork is the most important one, and we always try to be together, and together is better. So therefore, I said ADL, Axiata, something like a company. It's something like a hybrid company. It's not something like an enterprise level big company, and it's not like a startup company. It's something like a middle level company with all the good values and teamwork and innovation come up with the solid way. And this is our technology stack. So we are using the latest cutting edge technology. So more or less, we have something like a new, technology adaptation, and we have new technology adaptation culture. And we always influence people to change, influence people to pursue some new technology, influence people to, gain some new knowledge. And we always, try our best to go with something like a latest technology. So I believe the latest is the greatest. So therefore, we believe people should, always upgrade their knowledge, upgrade their technology skill, and upgrade their tacit and implicit knowledge related to their different areas. So this is something like a summary about what we have doing right now, because we have something like a solid pillar related to Internet of Things and RPA and DPA and cloud computing, API management, fintech business, BSS services, solution architect, data analytics and AI, app modernization and digital transformation, API development and microservices, quality assurance, site reliability engineering, managed services, UI UX, and security and cybersecurity implementation. Those are the key pillars we are working right now under ADL. So it's something like a very vast area. So you don't want to worry about that. So you can fit with any area, because people think, okay, this is something like a very limited areas we can, fit with your company. No. So we have something like a vast variety of areas. You can fit your knowledge with our expectation. So therefore, you can choose any area, whether you can comfortable with that, and whether you can having something like a more skill related to that, and whether you are passionate for this area, definitely you can join with this every pillar. At the same time, if you are skillful for working with something like a different pillars, So definitely you can use any multiple pillars, and you can groom yourself, and you can improve your skill level. So these are something like a product information, but I'm not going to explain all the product, but I will select some few products. So we have something like a very famous mobile money solution. It's called Easy Cash. Currently, Easy Cash implemented in several countries in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Cambodia, and recently we have implemented in Indonesia also. But due to that market competition, we are still in something like a fifth or sixth level, but not in the top level. But even though we have implemented under Excel, we call it Excel 2.9. So, we have another product called Genie and Boost. Genie is similar to Samsung Pay and Apple Pay. And Boost also, very famous in Malaysia as well as in Indonesia, some areas. So apart from that, we have a platform called IdeaMart and IdeaBiz. Because IdeaMart and IdeaBiz is very, famous solution in Malaysia and Sri Lanka, because all the external communities, so people who are, eager to develop their API, so you can publish that API and you can earn some additional money through that API. So IdeaMart is an ideal platform to earn money for outside freelance resources to publish their API, and community to use that API and earn some additional money for your day-to-day business. So apart from that, we have a IoT platform. We call it Flex IoT and Expand. So this is the IoT backbone introduced by ADL, and we enable agriculture business, then again building management solution, healthcare sector related to IoT. Because our next couple of years main focus related to IoT business introduced to the Indonesian market. At the same time, we are not concerned about making profit, but definitely we will give something like a value to Indonesian community and Indonesian nation, and we build something like a sophisticated solution for make sure their life easy, and make something like a secure life, and make something like a cost saving and power saving mechanisms. So apart from that, we done something like RPA and AI and digital platform like healthcare industry, loyalty, and something like e-commerce. So those are something like a main pillars related to that. But finally, we recently introduced something like a platform called ADL DTE. DTE means Digital Transformation Enabler. So DTE is something like a very, if I say it's a fancy platform, yes, it's a fancy platform. Because why? Any digital transformation, you can do it very seamless way, because you don't want to understand about microservices or CI/CD pipeline, because everything handled by DTE platform, and you can enable any digitization transformation through DTE. So currently DTE platform now implemented in Malaysia, in Celcom, and Indonesia under Excel, and Sri Lanka under Dialog Axiata. So currently we are evolving our product with something like a very favorable way, and we already received something like a very favorable responses from our client. So this is something like a more detail about the DTE. But if you want to explore something like a more information, you can visit our website and you can take something like a more valuable information. So, and finally, we have something like another platform called AXP. AXP is an API gateway or API hub. So for the gateway, we have, enable external gateway and internal gateway. So you can use our gateway very cost-effective manner, something like related to AWS API gateway. But we have something like a sophisticated features related to the telco business, and those are something like a whitelisted and very unique features related to the telco business. So, and we have something like a few partnership with Process Maker, Apigate, and Huawei. So those are the main partnership. Apart from that, we are partner with platinum partner with Google, AWS, and Microsoft Azure for the cloud computing. And finally, I would like to say the culture and the people. So because we said ADL is not Axiata Digital Labs, we said it's act, disrupt, lead. So we all are leaders, because ADL is not stabilized for earn profit or earn revenue. We stabilize to develop the local leaders in Indonesian market. So we truly believe we can use the local talent and local leaders and local managers and managerial skill people in Indonesia, because I'm having something like a true belief. So Indonesia is the best company who can innovate new things, new business, new technology, and technology adaptation. Definitely we can do in Indonesia, because I love this country and I love these people, and I think we can do something like a much more better things with next couple of years. So for the culture wise, as I mentioned you, we have a family type of culture. So we don't have any big gap between something like a positions or roles, because we have something like a same position, same responsibility, same rights, and no any big difference between any people or any position. So these are the core values related to our company. Okay, so yeah, so these are the something like a main values and purpose. So we believe we disrupt for advanced digital lives, and we act with respect, and we lead with exceptional performance, and we act with uncompromised integrity, and we act as a one team. So one team, one objective, one mission, and one purpose. So this is our slogan. So, and this is our team related, skills and their achievements. So we have 800 plus team members right now, and we have 30 plus RPA and DPA developers, 60 plus Scrum Masters, 40 plus mobile developers, 33 plus PMP certified people, and 43 plus ITIL certified people, 15 plus UI UX experts, 100 plus API microservices expert, 80 plus AI analytics expert, 50 plus BSS experts, and 50 plus AWS GCP Azure experts, and 70 plus IoT experts, and 5 plus Drupal and e-commerce development experts. So those are the skill set related to our team. So this is our director board. So you can refer something like more information about our director board. And this is our leadership team. So our leadership team distributed in several areas, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and Indonesia right now. But moving forward, we will, expand our leadership team into Bangladesh, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Nepal. So this is the heartbeat. So recently we have, accommodated something like a contribution to the COVID-19 relief program. So still we are working with that, and we donated something like a monetary, support to all the hospitals and all the people who are suffering with COVID situation. So still we are working on that, and we hope to do something like a lot of CSR project in upcoming situation in Indonesia as well. So something like a brief introduction about our company as an ADL. So I think you can have something like a better understanding right now about ADL and what kind of things we are doing. So so if you have any question related to company, I think I can answer to you. If not, if you have any question, please collate it together and you can ask after this session. So if you don't have any question, I would like to continue with our preferred topic, your first job with ADL. Okay, I assume you don't have any question right now. So please, don't hesitate to ask your question by Bahasa, right? Because I can have a very few understanding about Bahasa, but it's okay. I can use Boost Hindi for translation. So please don't worry about the language. Language is a communication media. Don't worry about that. You can use Bahasa and ask any question. So, okay, let's continue my subject matter. Okay, so today my subject is your first job with ADL. But before we jump into that, I would like to ask something like a few questions or few something like a concerns. So what kind of attribute you consider when you select your first job? So for me, I will give you my true experience. When I decided my first job, I decided, okay, I need to go with something like a fancy company, very good atmosphere and good salary. And finally, I decide, yeah, it's not only for the salary and not only for the fancy, interior, exterior, or any fancy, office work area. But I need to, think about what kind of attribute coming to my career, what kind of skill I can gain from this company. Because finally I realized, apart from that, my package or my salary or the company atmosphere, the main objective is for my first job is I need to gain some new skill and how I can improve my career. Because your first step is your first step of your career. Because once you are ruin your first job, so it will impact your career also. Still, I believe the first job is the most important thing, and the first team you met in your first job, that is your last team you met in your first job. Because I prefer the people who join with us, they have something like enough space to explore their knowledge, explore their experience, explore their technology, and we give that freedom to everyone. So when you select your first job, you have to think about what kind of attribute I can gain to my career, I can gain to my skill, and I can, how can I become something like an asset to company, how can I become something like a valuable person to Indonesian market. So those are the things you have to realize. But to be honest, we need to think about salary and company reputation and everything we have to consider. But the first thing first is you have to think about what kind of skill, what kind of knowledge, what kind of skill, soft skill, and uh, other technical skills you can gain from this company. So that is why I say, when you consider a new job or your first job, so you have to think about not only for your salary, not only for the company reputation, think about what kind of work I can do and what kind of skill I can gain to my career, right? So because as I mentioned you, your first step is for your last step, and therefore your first job is the first step of your career, right? So therefore my simple message is, whenever you think about the company, or whenever you think about your first job, just think about what's your scope of work, so what kind of thing I need to do, right? So therefore, so this is something like a, I hope this is something like a valuable message to you whenever you think about the new job or new first job. So you have to think about what kind of attributes you can gain to your career. So the next thing is, how ADL is suitable for your first job, right? As I mentioned you, because ADL is something like a very good stable company, and it's coming from something like a big giant company in Southeast Asia. It's called Axiata. But even though I prefer to mention ADL is something like a hybrid company with startup kind of attribute with enterprise level company. So why I'm saying that? So I personally like startup company, because startup company, they don't have a limits. They have an unlimited, space. So we can fly unlimited, space, unlimited boundaries, right? And the same time, we are flexible and we are friendly, and we work as a family. So we don't have, strong boundaries. We don't have a strong rules and regulation. Every time we give the best freedom to our staff and best freedom to our members, and they can talk, they can propose their ideas, they can criticize, they can debate, but end of the day, we are one family, and we concluded into one single one single conclusion, and after that we decide, okay, where to go and what to do. So therefore, I like this startup culture, and the same time, we don't have a risk something like a startup companies, because we have a good financial backbone behind us. So therefore, we don't want to worry about the failures and some mistakes, because as I mentioned you, don't fear to fail. In ADL culture, we are not fear to fail, because I assume I like more failures, because whenever you take success, you couldn't take something like a more lessons, because once you get success, you celebrate it and you finish it. But once you received any failure, you deep dive to the root cause, and you can explore more and more things, the reason of your failure. Then you can learn a lot of things. It's not related to your failure, but it's related with other avenues. So I believe failures are something like an invisible goat to sake of your career development and sake of your future. So that is why I say, don't fear to fail, right? Whenever you fear to fail, you never explore new things, you never touch new things, and you always try to do something like a recurring job, right? So that is why I say, ADL is a good culture, and we are not, avoid you to explore something like a new things. We always, welcome to new things, and we always give freedom to explore new things and experience new things. So therefore, that is why I say ADL is suitable as per your first job, because coming with their first job, they don't know about what kind of culture they have to adapt, and every time it's go as trial and error, right? So in ADL level, we will give that environment to them, and they can grow. There's a valuable thought. It say your career is a blank book. You are the author. So it's very true statement, because your career is a blank book. You are the person who write it, and you are the author. So, but we will give that environment to you. We will support you, and you are the person who build your career. So every time we facilitate as a facilitator to build your career, and at the same time you have a responsibility to create your career. So that is why I say ADL is a suitable company for your first job. So apart from that, you can meet something like a very, very talented and very experienced and very helpful local team members inside the ADL. I'm the only person who came from outside, and rest of the other people who coming from Indonesian, very high skill communities. So therefore, you can learn something like a lot of things through that people, and they are very supportive, and they always work as a team. So you are not feel anything alone. So you feel so you are working with family. So, and the other concept is we try our best to equal the office environment is your home environment. So I prefer to say ADL is your second home, right? So you didn't feel any different. So your first home is your domestic home, and your second home is ADL, and your third home can be coffee shop, right? So therefore, I prefer ADL is something like your second home, and we will give that freedom, we will give that relaxation, and we will give that open to talk, open to make your ideas, and open to criticize. So we will give that all the facilities to you to groom yourself. So that is why I said ADL is suitable for your first job. And finally, but last but not least, so ADL is having something like a very good facilities for the salary point of view. I think we are something like heading in the top level of the Indonesian salary benchmark, and we will facilitate all the welfare facilities to our employees. At the same time, we have something like a training. Nowadays, we whitelisted so many training, online training to our people, and it's not any restriction. Anyone can join that. And we have something like a global knowledge sharing sessions. So every employee can participate that. And at the same time, every employee can connect with any global team members who needs to take something like a support, assistant, or whatever the things. And we facilitate all these things. So therefore, as I mentioned you, we have something like a startup related solid valuable attributes, as well as we have something like a big companies related some attributes also. So therefore, I said ADL is something like a hybrid level company, and that is the suitable company for your first job as well as your last job. So I prefer the people who join with us, they never regret, and definitely they have something like a clear vision, and we have something like a good path, and we have something like a very clear objective and visions. So therefore, what I suggested to you, please explore about the people who join with us from the Telecom University. And today my session, I will share something like a testimonial from the student who joined with us from last year. So you can take something like a valuable comments from them and real experience from them. And then you can decide whether it's something like a good place to do our job, or something like it's not fit with your job. But even though, please keep in mind whatever the things I have mentioned to you, whenever you choose your first job, please go through my hints. These are something like a tips and tricks you have to consider about that. So the next topic is what kind of skill you can gain through ADL, right? Because I would like to give something like a classic example. In every university, they have something like a different streams: electronics, engineering, IT and computer, business management, HR development, So there are something like a different streams. But even though people, they are passionate to do something like a different area. Let's say example, the person who are, doing his basic degree as business management, but he's passionate for do something like a software programming, right? So ADL is truly support to them. Even though your main basic, degree related to different thing, but if you're passionate for some different area, the ADL is truly supported to you. The classic example is last time the person who joined with us, he's having something like a industrial engineering degree, but now today he became IoT engineer and he is doing something like a software development programming, and he's having something like a good knowledge about IoT, and now he became something like an IoT engineer. So that is why I say ADL is truly support to you, and you can gain the 360 angles of knowledge, because it's not only programming. So let's assume that computer software engineering person who joined with us, he can gain something like a different knowledge. He can understand something like a project management. He can understand about the quality assurance. He can understand about the IoT, big data, AI, RPA. So it's limitless. So what happened for the big companies? They are not, give any chance to, explore some other things, because they have a defined framework and we have to work with that framework. But I'm not believe that, because my belief is we need to give to explore freedom, because when we give that freedom to explore that everything, people can gain something like a different knowledge. Then they know how to do things end to end. It's not only the one part, because in production level, the people who are expert in something like uh, putting something like a buttons, so they are only doing that recurring job. But every day, 360 days, 64 days, they are doing only one job. Let's assume for the banking sector, so everybody doing the recurring job. Every day is the same job. Even though we think about next year, we are doing the same job. But inside the ADL, you are not doing the recurring job. Every day is a challenge. Every day is a new thing. Every day is a new knowledge. Every day is a new skill. So every day is a dynamic day. So you can earn something like a different aspects and different skills. So that is why I say ADL is something like a knowledge hub. It's not only for the company who developing software and give something like a software solution. It's something like a knowledge hub. You can gain knowledge every day, a new skill, new matters, new challenges, and new adaptation. So that is what ADL can give to you as for your skill development. So therefore, as I mentioned, it's something like unlimited opportunities, right? So the other thing is you can take something like a good exposure with other teamwork, other team members, because other team members in the sense, some team members who are working with outside Indonesia. So then you can take something like a very global exposure through that offshore and on-site team members. So, and time to time, you can travel to other countries and you can support for other countries' implementation. So whenever that Malaysia required our resources can fly to Malaysia and they can participate for the project and they can come back again to Indonesia. So likewise, we have something like a mobility policy. So people can travel to place and they can explore that new things, new culture, and they can share their knowledge and they can gain their knowledge through that different mixtures and blended team members. So this is something like what we can, gain through the ADL. So my next topic is what kind of resources required for 2021 to 2025, right? So this is my question for telecom university management also, right? So if you think about the traditional way, so I think, so it's very difficult to, produce something like a suitable resources to next couple of years market. So now all the companies, they're expecting something like a hybrid resources. So let's assume today we develop something like a business management student and he, pass out through the business management degree, but outside companies, they are not looking for the business management or business development person. They are looking for something like a scientific management person, because they need to understand about the technical, they need to understand about the latest digital transformation knowledge, they need to understand about the digital market, and they need to understand about the Bitcoin and something like a mobile money and some digital currencies. So that is why I said people expecting hybrid resources, because today if we recruit something like a HR person to our company, that HR person also should have something like understanding about software development, because without having those attributes or essence, it's very difficult to cope up with people. So that is why I say, so we have to think about the market requirement, then we have to adjust our resources according to the market requirement. At the same time, most of the company now they think about how to optimize, how to utilize their resources. So they always think about how we can utilize our resources in 100%, and they try to minimize their resources count due to that operation cost, and they would like to keep something like a hybrid resources. So the other way around, that hybrid resources be really important for the people also, because let's say today I will become something like a hybrid resources, I can value myself. So I will become something like asset to company. So therefore, we have to become hybrid resources. We are not only for developers, we are not only for the business analysts, we are not only for the project manager. We have something like a different skills and vast variety of skills. We can adapt any situation. So today, if I want to, keep my software engineer or DevOps engineer to something like a project management level, so they can continue that. Today, my project management team, they can having something like an in-depth of knowledge related to technology. Today, my business analyst, they can know everything about the domain. The same time, they have something like a good knowledge about the technology also. And the same time, they have a good experience for the quality assurance also. The same way, my quality assurance team also having something like a different knowledge apart from their main skill. So as per the agility concept, agile concept, we believe everybody having their secondary skill. But now I believe the modern agile concept, we have to keep something like a hybrid resources. So hybrid resources, they are looks like US SEALs, because very small team and they can do a lot of things, right? So then I believe that telecom university also consider about that hybrid resources and how you produce something like a good resources to outside industry in order to cater for Indonesian market. So this is my simple message to university also, and I really appreciate it. So you can make your career and make yourself as a hybrid resources. So we have something like a lot of vacancy for our ADL Indonesia. So we always welcome for all the young blood who can having that spirit and who can having that passionate and who can having that eager to do something like a cutting edge technology related solution, and to take something like a responsibility, take some challenges and work as a team. So we always welcome to you to join with ADL, and we will make sure your career and your future. So these are something like a message from my side. So finally, I would like to give something like a testimonial related to our recent members who joined with ADL. So give me 1 second. So I will share something like a testimonial related to our recent joined students from Telkom University. Can you see my screen?
The speaker for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Halo teman-teman semuanya, perkenalkan, nama saya Muhammad Dian. Saya merupakan alumni dari University angkatan 2015. Saat ini sedang bekerja di ADL atau Axiata Digital Labs Indonesia sebagai IoT engineer. Di sini saya bekerja kurang lebih selama 1 tahun, dan kan saya selama bekerja 1 tahun di Axiata Digital Labs Indonesia ini sangat senang sekali, sangat bahagia karena selain lingkungan kerjanya yang nyaman, terdapat rekan-rekan kerja yang sangat suportif dan sangat kompak. Lalu terdapat senior saya dan leader saya, yaitu Chandima, yang mengayomi sekali timnya dan sangat membimbing saya untuk membantu saya meningkatkan soft skill dan hard skill saya di bidang IoT. Jadi untuk teman-teman yang berminat bergabung, silakan job vacancy ADL ya teman-teman, karena kesempatan itu tidak datang dua kali. Mungkin segitu saja dari saya. Terima kasih.
So we have another testimonial. So I will share that testimonial also.
Halo, saya Rampuja Dewa, alumni dari Telkom University tahun 2015. Saya sekarang bekerja di ADL dengan posisi UI UX designer. Kesan-kesan di sini pastinya seru banget buat teman-teman yang suka tantangan dan pengen belajar banyak hal baru. Jadi buat teman-teman yang berminat, cek aja job vacancy-nya.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu, for the given opportunity. And this is something like a tips and tricks about I can share with you. So apart from that, I always welcome to your university student to join with us. And at the same time, I really appreciated your support for giving us for produce something like a very suitable resources, suitable students to join with ADL. So I'm really appreciated. So I think it and really appreciation book. So people who are having some question, please please let us know. We will try our best to address that. And if you want to let us try our best to address that. And if you we will to use something like
Inspiring talk. Now I would like to open the Q&A sessions for anyone who have questions. You can type your question on the chat room. Come on, don't be shy, guys. Okay, there is one question from Brain Namjoon. They say, can we apply for internship? If we can, what are the prerequisites? And we know about the situation right now, right? So how your company can face this situation now, then what's your company preparing for the long term?
Yeah, so Boo, if you don't mind, there's an echo coming from your side. If you can make until I answer, I think it's much better. Okay, thank you very much. So for the internship, Boo, definitely we can provide that internship program, and so far we are welcome to all the internship members who can join with us. And the same time, whenever they finish their internship program, so we will decide to continue as long term. It's sometimes a long term contract or something like a permanent job. So that is depend on their contribution during their internship. One thing I need to tell you, during the internship period, we are not consider them as interns. So they consider us they are something like skillful people, but that doesn't mean they need to understand all the things. But definitely our team will support for them to grow their career at the same time develop their skills. So then I think the internship program is something like a secondary study university and inside the ADL, and we will support them in develop their skill and face the actual market what industry expecting right now. So this is what we can offer for the internship. At the same time, your second question, whether they can continue as a long-term contract, my answer is yes. Definitely, we can continue their long-term contract because last year also we did the same thing and we focused to do the same thing with something like a what do you call big capacity with something like different areas according to our business needs. So I assume I addressed your question. If not, Boo, please ask any question for the detail related to the same topic.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Any other questions? want to ask one question for Mr. Chandima.
Mhm.
What is the basic requirements for our students to get into Axiata Digital Labs? I mean, the basic one.
Okay. The basic one, it's only your, right? The basic requirement is your attitude, right? So we don't mainly, I mean, concerned about what's your degree, what's your level, or what's your rank. We are not concerned about that. We are concerned about your willingness and you are eager to learn something, and your commitment and your attitude. So that is the basic requirement we are expecting from all the students who decided to join with A.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Any other questions? Okay, we got one more questions from Akita Verselita. Hi, Mr. Chandima. How do you see the competition in technology industry in the future? How do we make ourselves keep competitive in the market?
Okay, so my answer is it's something like a very valuable question based on the present situation. Because if I say competition, I say competition is very high because I prefer that competition. Because if we don't have a competition, we couldn't, I mean, think about the. So I prefer competition, but how we can face that competitive market, we have to be changed. If we are following the traditional way, so we cannot survive. We always, I mean, accept the changes. So because most of the people, they with the same industry, same market, same niche market, but there are something like a plenty of opportunities outside that, I mean, focus area. So I think our approach is we have to focus on that the non-competitive market, and we have to go with something like agnostic model. So let's say example, there's industries having something like a transportation business. We are not going to, I mean, compete with the transportation business. We go with agnostic model. We do something and we integrate it with the transportation model. So then, at the end of the day, everyone can win. Nobody can lose. Right? So therefore, we understand the market availability and how we can, I mean, utilize the market. So that is the philosophy. So I think we can face the challenge, face the competition without making any harm. So if we are going for competition means it's something like suicide mission. So therefore, our strategy, we are going with agnostic model, going for competition. But it's our agnostic model, not the traditional. So I hope I answered that question. If further question, please let me know. Let me.
Okay. How is it, Akita? Is it answer to your question? One more question before we wrap up.
Bahasa, it doesn't matter. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. If you don't talk in English, you can type your question in Bahasa Indonesia.
It's okay. Please. Okay. Please.
Mr. Chandima, I think that's all for the questions. Maybe you have a closing statement.
Yeah, okay. First thing first, thank you very much for the given opportunity. Is there any question?
Yes, there is one another question from Margot.
Sure.
Good morning, sir. I want to ask how the biggest challenge of the telecommunication industry today and how to build the largest network in the world, especially in this industry.
Okay. So for the telco side, I think for the telco related to voice, we are now in maturity level. So it's very difficult to move beyond that. We are in maturity stage. So all the telco companies now focus on the data and the digital market. So let's say example in Axiata level, we don't have any investment for the voice network. So our all investment is moved to now data and the digitization. At the same time, we are focusing on something like a related business, something like IoT business, then healthcare, agriculture, and we will enable that telecommunication assets to those areas. So my answer is, so the telecommunication, industry, it's never die. It will move forward, and it's something like a big industry in worldwide. So, but only thing is, if you think about only for the voice, it's something like a, I cannot say dying product. It's not, moving beyond now at the current level, because it's now in maturity level. But if you think about something like other way around, how you can use something like digitization through the technology, telecommunication, and how you can use the data to your day-to-day business, and how you can enable the data for your lifestyle. So those are something like areas we can definitely move forward telecommunication industry. So my answer is, my summary of my answer is that telco industry is moving well, and we cannot stop that. It's moving well day by day, and it's something like a very profitable industry in current arena. So therefore, if you willing to work with telco industry, I think that is the best option. And the same time, if you can join with ADL, so you have something like a privilege to explore that all the telco related assets and telco related stack through ADL. So I think if you have something like a decision to join with telco industry, I think it's very wise decision. But as I mentioned you, please don't focus on the voice. So voice is in now maturity level. Please, think about beyond that level. So I hope I can give something like a proper answer to your question. Is there any question? Please let me know.
Yes, is it okay for you to answer one more question?
No, sure. Please ask any question, right? If I have time, definitely I will address it.
It's from Maureen. Hi, Mr. Chandima. I want to ask about, we know that there is a lot of obstacles and challenges in technology industry these days. What the most ability that we need to have to face them?
So, because to be honest, as I mentioned, life is something like unpredictable, because in last year, we never thought about that COVID situation, and we never thought about work from home, something like this. And we never thought about something like a career fair through that webinar, right? So this is something like a challenging for our life as well as our day-to-day business. So we have something like a lot of obstacles, because if I say we don't have any obstacles, it's lies, because we have a lot of obstacles, because sometimes some obstacles within us, but some obstacles without our control. Let's assume the data connectivity, then our health problem, those are something like it's uncontrollable, so we cannot control. But there are some couple of things we can control. So this is why I say, so we have to give something like a freedom, and we have something like a space for adaptation. Because if I say that all the people who join with us and we ask them to adapt from the day one, we cannot do that. So there are some challenges. At the same time, there are something like a solution also. So our strategies, as I mentioned, we never fear for obstacles or fear for failures. We face that obstacles. Sometimes we can win, sometimes we can lose. But whenever we lose, we know we have that experience and how to mitigate that for the next time. So because our strategies fail forward. So whenever we fail, but we stand up again and move forward. So we always think that failures are something like a biggest experience for us For the personally, I also failed several times, and I assume these are failures, something like a stepping stone to my success. The same way we thought, so people can have obstacles, challenges, but again, it's something like an asset for us. It's something like an invisible goal for us. So please, face their challenges, and company, we will support for you to face their challenges. And every time, whenever you face some problem, we will share with our team. Then the problem strength is getting less. So your impact is very less because your problem share among the team. So that is why we call share your pain. So we have something like a solid background how to face the obstacles and how to mitigate the problem. So this is our strategy, and whenever you join with us, you can experience our strategy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There is one more question from Marvin. Glass, what's the motivation for you to be in this job, and what's your next future plan regarding with what you're doing now? Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, so our motivation slogan is, if I say, as I mentioned you, we are not expecting something like much and more academic, your qualification or whatever things, right? Academic qualification is required, but the most important thing is your attitude, right? So we are people, we are human, we can change this world, right? Your attitude is the most important thing. And if you think you can committed to do that and you have something like a never give up attitude, definitely you can do. There's a valuable saying, because when you hang around with barber shop, so sooner or later you can cut your hair. But only thing is your commitment, one day it will reward to you, but sometimes it will come very soon. Sometimes you have to be patient. So my suggestion, if you have a good attitude and you have a good commitment, you can win this game and you can win this battle. But only thing is you have to be passionate and you have to be patient and you have to be uh, honest. So these are something like a motivation what I given to my team. And the same time, we always think about as a team, because we cultivate something like Avenger kind of team. We are not expecting Supermans, because when the Superman joined with us, one day he left from company, we are fair. We are totally fair. So that is why we are making Avengers. Everybody having responsibility, everybody having the unique skills, and all together we can build something like a fantastic world. So that is why we are cultivating Avengers instead of Superman. So the other thing is our future plan. So in Indonesia is a great country, and Indonesian people also great people, and they are very highly skilled people, and they are very good attitude people. So what we need to do, so I need to take that Indonesian ADL people to the international market. So we are not doing only for the Indian products in Indonesia, we have to take it for the outside Indonesia. So our next 2-3 years plan is we have to move outside the Indonesia, especially that other countries, Europe market, and we have to push our product to that market, and we have to build something like a solid platform in Indonesia, and it will become something like a world recognized brand around the world. So that is our future plan. And apart from that, I really need to make something like a local leaders in through the ADL to the Indonesian technology community and technology industry. So that is our vision and the mission for the next couple of years.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. And again, thank you for the questions. So now we will move to the photo session. To keynote speakers as well all participants, please open to your camera. Okay. Okay, we have more than 5 slides here. So please take your position because we don't know which slide we are in. And we will start in 3, 2, 1. Once more. In 3, 2, 1. Yeah, last but not least. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we reach at the end of the agenda. Let us all be guided by all the things we have learned and heard throughout the event. Please forgive us for any shortcomings. Don't forget to fill the link feedback to gain the benefits from this webinar. The feedback link, yes. And I hope you guys enjoying today's webinar as much as I enjoy being here with you guys. Stay safe everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Chandima.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sanima.
Thanks for all. Spend your valuable time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Terima kasih teman-teman semua. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Mbak Cindy.